I forgot the audio was muted for the UConn Tennessee game. Oh well. If you don't like Bob Kesseling, then congratulations. I guess you don't have to hear him. Okay. Transitioning over back to us. Oi, fellow comrades, it is Squidtard here along with my buddy Lucas Sharp. Mr. Julio Rodriguez is out for the time being. He'll be late, and whether or not he shows up before the end of the show is something we have yet to find out. He called me beforehand, let me know that he won't be able to show up on time tonight, so hopefully everything on his end is taken care of. Alright, well, got a few things to talk about today. Maybe a short show, mainly just because of the fact that I'm still going through a respiratory infection. Now, I'm past COVID. I'm not contagious or anything like that, so, I could still go to school and everything like that, but I don't really feel all that phenomenal and fantastic. On top of that, like I've mentioned the past few weeks, I've been getting thrown into academic hell as of lately, so I'm trying to cram everything into one day that I possibly can. So I can't promise that tonight's show will be a long one, especially if there's not too much traffic going on in the comments. So if you are there in the comment section, please make yourself known so that we can talk to you and we can have a great show tonight. All right, well, all that being said, Lucas, you got anything to start us off with tonight? Hold up.
Just start off.
You were muted. You were muted on my end. Now, okay. Oh. Now you're good to go.
All right. I don't know. I can't really think of anything to start off with. Of course, I guess I don't know if you have this as a topic or not, but of course, there was a little bit of a rumor going around that Dylan Sampson was going to transfer out, even though that one dude who tweeted it out, it was literally just a guy who basically just lies all the time for attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Dylan Sampson's going to transfer out. And if he does, then personally to me, I would literally just go ahead and wave him goodbye and just tell him to go, because he'd be stupid to go. I'm being completely honest. Mm-hmm. It'd be stupid to go because it's his running back room. Literally, Jalen Wright's gone, because personally, I think Jalen Wright, I think he's gone to the league. I think he's gone to the league. He's going to be like a third rounder, I believe.
It's possible he could stay though, but I mean, he is a junior, so
I mean, if Jalen Wright stays, that would be amazing. But personally, I think Jalen Wright would be kind of stupid to stay and not go to the NFL. I mean, I guess maybe to try to raise his draft stock, I guess, but I feel like he's probably projected to be like a third or fourth rounder. So,
right.
Part of me hopes Jalen Wright goes to the NFL, because we need more guys in the NFL to point at him and be like, hey, look, Tennessee produced that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And make kids want to come here.
Volunteer talent,
Yeah. But Dylan Sampson, like I said, it'd be stupid for him to go, because literally no Jalen Wright, no Jabari Small. Of course, you still have Cam Seldon, and then you have Khalifa Keith, which even though I believe those two guys are going to be good, I still believe Dylan Sampson is still well above those guys. So literally, he's going to be our main back for the next few years. Dylan Sampson would literally be stupid to leave.
Right. Yeah. We got a loaded running back room this season or next season. So, and especially if Jalen Wright goes on to the NFL this year and declares early, then yeah, Dylan Sampson without a doubt is going to be running back 1 next year, and we'll have no excuse to underutilize him next season. That's for sure. So hopefully he sticks around. I don't think he's leaving, though. The only guy who said that, as you said, is that one lying guy on Twitter. Nobody should take him seriously. At least I don't take him seriously. All right, well, anyway, with all that being said, let's hop right into the show and talk about some of the topics for today. So we'll kick it off, as we usually do, talk about basketball season. So not been a good week for basketball. I talked about it last week. Tennessee was getting ready to play Purdue last week, and now 2 straight losses. lost to Purdue 71-67, and then in their next matchup against Kansas, the Maui Invitational, they lost 69-60. So they were very competitive in those matchups, but they ended up coming out on the falling end. Lucas, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, yes, it definitely sucks to lose those games, especially that Purdue game. I feel like we had that game. Uh, but you know what? They're not bad losses at all. They're still losses, but they're still losses to pretty good teams. Like Purdue, of course, right now is ranked number 1 in the country because of winning that tournament. And then Kansas, I think, still like top 5. So, yeah, not bad losses at all. And I still feel really good about this basketball team. I think Dalton Connect is going to be fine. Jordan Gainey, Santiago Vescovi. Santiago Vescovi is actually been starting to get into a groove as of late, and that's nice to see because we definitely need that. But yeah, the last 2 games showed like what are we gonna do? What is Tennessee gonna do when they take on these like really big guys? Like, of course, Purdue, they have Zach Edey. Tennessee wasn't really able to stop him. Zach Edey, of course, put up over 20 points. And then, of course, Kansas, they have Hunter Dickinson. We wasn't able to stop him as well. Like, with these other teams, like, when we play a team with, like, a really big center, I'm actually going to be scared because so far we have yet to see what to do when we play like a big.
Yeah. SEC football makes a pretty good point. He says the offense, I'm assuming he says the offense, in that Kansas game down the stretch was atrocious, just like last year. So that could be, I mean, it could be a typo. It could be saying officiating. And I don't know if you would agree with that, Lucas, but that's whether, I mean, did you think the offense was bad down the stretch?
Oh, against Vandy?
No, I'm talking about the basketball game.
Oh, basketball game?
Yeah.
I mean, nah, I don't think it was. I mean, yeah, I would probably say it a little bit, but we was still able to move the ball. So
Yeah. Well, it's an inability to close out games is kind of the the consistent thing that I've been seeing with these Tennessee basketball teams. It's just that against really, really good teams, they've kind of struggled to close out, and get a lead over opponents. I have seen that.
yeah.
So
But now everybody's going to be talking about that every single team that Tennessee played that's worth a crap. Tennessee lost to.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll find that out for sure. Tennessee, this Wednesday, 2 days from now, is going up to Chapel Hill to play North Carolina, who's ranked 17th. So if they lose to them, then I think that may be some real awareing kind of concern. But, it's a road game for Tennessee. It's going to be another big test for the Vols. And hopefully they recover from those 2 losses that they took because, well, Purdue and Kansas, they both are top 5 teams. Purdue is ranked number 1 right now. So, losing to them, yeah, you can come back from that. But this North Carolina game, I think, is very important for this Tennessee team. And hopefully they get things moving in the right direction. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we want to talk about? So usually I don't talk about any other. Of course, we'll talk about the baseball team when it rolls into baseball season. But I found this out to be pretty interesting. The volleyball team for Tennessee, the Lady Vols, number 3 seed, the highest seed in program history. For the first time ever, they're hosting 2 rounds of the 2023 NCAA volleyball tournament. The first matchup kicking off Friday, December 1st at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know about you, but that kind of just goes to show that Tennessee is an everything school. Don't you agree?
Yeah, man. It seems like we're getting everything going right now. Football, both basketballs, baseball, softball, volleyball. Even our golf team is been usually pretty good as of late.
Now, of course, I know what the trolls are getting ready to say. Hurdy-durdy-dur, where's your championship in those games, Squidtard? Well, just you wait. Just you wait. Just you wait. Out of 6 sports, you'd have to think that eventually one of them is going to win one. Football's a no-go for this year, but there's a basketball team, the baseball team, golf team, volleyball team, softball team. I mean, one of them's gonna. I mean, come on. I like our chances, is what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now the what everybody's been waiting for, the football talk. Let's talk about this crazy Week 13, which really wasn't as crazy as I was kind of hoping for. A lot of close calls this week, Lucas. I mean, a lot of great games, especially on Saturday. And, well, rivalry week definitely wasn't disappointing. But for everybody that was hoping for pure chaos, unfortunately, you did not get your wish. All of these teams, Georgia, one-score game against Georgia Tech. Michigan and Ohio State, of course, played. We'll talk about that in a minute. Washington, 3-point game against Washington State. They won. Florida State struggled against Florida, but eventually they came back and won. Of course, Alabama, just the insanity in the Iron Bowl. We'll talk about that too. Now, Louisville did go down. Number 10, Louisville at home lost to Kentucky, which now probably means that Kentucky is Tennessee's best win of the season. Something to take note of right there. But anyway, yeah. Other than Louisville, there wasn't many big upsets. Kansas State also went down. They were ranked 19th. They lost to Iowa State at home. Other than that, I don't really mean there really isn't much to go off of. There.
Yeah.
Still a lot of great games, but in terms of chaos, not much to go off of. Now then, let's talk about some of the more important things. So, yep, Ohio State. I kind of expected this, but they went down to Michigan, and it kind of proves to everybody that Michigan, regardless of the fact that they cheated, is still a very good team. I think we can all agree on that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, I guess now all the talk about Michigan falling off because they cheated is out the window. Jim Harbaugh was suspended before the Penn State game, and now Michigan has beaten both Penn State and Ohio State without Jim Harbaugh. So I think they're in a pretty safe spot. Would you agree?
Yeah. I think they're a pretty good spot. Does Jim Harbaugh, does he get to coach the Big Ten title game?
I believe so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Michigan's in a really good spot because now, of course, they're undefeated. They have to play Iowa next, and let's be honest. I know, we aren't on to the predictions next, but let's be honest. They're beating Iowa.
Yeah.
They're not
Right.
losing to Iowa.
All right. And, of course, now joining us, welcome back, Mr. Julio.
Yeah, no, I'm late. I had to go and get something for my mom, so.
You're good. Glad you got to make it onto the show, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know how late I am because I had to stop by and get my nieces too, so that also added on like another 10 minutes.
That's fair. I'm glad you at least were able to make it to the show. That's what counts. That is indeed what counts. All right.
What?
Oh, what was that?
I was gonna say, where are we at in the show? Because I know it's live.
We just got to the football talk. We just got finished talking about the Ohio State-Michigan game, and we're just kind of going through talking about some of the games that occurred from Saturday. So,
all right.
Now, of course, talked about Ohio State-Michigan. And me and Lucas, it was a very special time for us watching this one. We got, of course, we were watching the Iron Bowl, Bama and Auburn. We were actually watching it in Neyland Stadium, and we got to see the final play of the game, that 4th and 38. We were in the student section, so everybody else was watching it too. And when Jalen Milroe threw that pass, everybody was jumping around because we thought, he overthrew it, or, he just threw it to a receiver that wasn't open. This is it. Bama's going down. And then it happened. Freaking guy jumps up, catches it, touchdown, Alabama. They beat Auburn. We're all sitting there like, no freaking way. And the best part about it is that I got the whole interaction on camera, so I'll make sure tomorrow when I post my entire vlog from that game, like I did the homecoming game against UConn, you guys will be able to see the entire reaction from the student section.
Yeah, like literally, there was two guys sitting behind me and Squid, and they were like, they like tapped me on the shoulder. It's like, what's the score? How much time is left? And I was like,
Yeah, everybody
yeah,
was
they was,
watching.
like literally, I could like feel I could like literally like see behind my back and like see the guys like looking over my shoulder trying to watch the game. It was really fun, and all the other people watching it. And then when he threw that touchdown pass, like literally everybody went silent.
Right.
Well, see, here's the thing. Whenever I saw the way they lined up, I said they're gonna fuck themselves here. I told my uncle this because I was sitting there, uh, uh, like, because I got back or whatever, like just a little bit in time to watch that game. And I remember when I got back and everything, uh, I told my uncle because I was like, got like right before and he was watching it. And I told him, I said, they're going to fuck up here because by looking at it and stuff like that, I said, they fucked up because I said, they're not pressuring them too much. They're not, like, I understand they dropped like a lot back, but they still gave like way too much room and they didn't apply enough pressure.
Yep.
And here's the other thing. Milrow, as much as the thing I've noticed about him is that he seems to do better whenever he throws deep. That seems to be something he excels at.
Yeah.
He seems to excel at the deep throws and kind of is inconsistent when it comes to short and medium throws.
Man.
Yeah.
But man, I was really hoping, of course, Bama would have lost that game because not only would Bama, of course, been eliminated, but then it sets up if Bama beats Georgia, then that basically means that the entire SEC would have been eliminated.
It basically
Well,
means that anyway if Bama beats Georgia, honestly.
see, here's the thing: if Bama beats Georgia, I don't think Bama even probably gets in unless like
Right,
a
one of the
certain
other teams would
scenario
have to
plays out.
lose.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably have. The thing is, thinking about it, I mean, Florida State could lose, but it looked like their quarterback finally started to come on near the end of that game.
Yeah,
So maybe
and that guy's
it
the
might
real
not be.
deal. So.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got the talent. My problem was the quarterback because I figured it was going to be a hard game for him in the swamp because I think we know this from experience, but the swamp's a hard place to play.
Right.
No matter how bad Florida is, that's just a hard place to play. And I think that's one of the reasons why Georgia has a lot better record against them than everybody else because they get to have the neutral field in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. All right. Roger David says, "Call me crazy. Although I'm disappointed with the season that we had to lose, I'm overall satisfied with this season versus 14 of the last 15, I guess, seasons. Yeah. No. I mean, 8-4, all things considered, is not the worst thing ever. Considering where we were years prior to this." It's just disappointing looking at what happened last year, I think.
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't say that this season wasn't a good season, but then I wouldn't say it was a bad season either.
It's in retrospect to what we're used to seeing before the Josh Heupel era. So.
Yeah, which I've said this to my uncle, but I said if a down year from now on is 9 wins, I think I'll take that from now on. If a down year is 8 to 9 wins, compared to 5 and 7,
Right.
4 and 8,
I think it's a pretty good spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and even let's say if like a 8-4, 9-3 years, like what like average is right now. I mean, it'll be disappointing because of the 1-11-2 year we had. But here's the thing: we got to realize. And I feel like a lot of the fan base, especially the older part of the fan base, has got to realize at this point, Tennessee has not been elite probably since 2000, 2 probably?
2000, I'd say 2005 would probably be the year that we took a decline, but yeah, you're...
Well, I mean, I know, but I'm talking like, okay, so our last 11-win season before last year was 2001.
Yeah, but okay.
And then,
okay.
and then,
Right.
of course, you put that on there. We kind of underachieved for the next 4 to 5 years, even though we had a lot of expectations. From 2002 to 2007, we kind of just flopped.
Right.
Because I just felt like Fulmer kind of got. I think he got his national championship and got complacent.
Yeah,
and kind of really failed to capitalize on it.
correct. Definitely correct there. All right. Andrew the textbook says if Alabama had lost and beats Georgia, Georgia would still be in now. If Alabama wins, Alabama is in and Georgia is out. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about some playoff scenarios at the end of the show. First, we got to get to the rest of the talk around last week. Real quick, let me ask you guys. Y'all remember last year when Tennessee was 11-2 or 10-2 at this point, made the Orange Bowl against Clemson, and then they had a flyover that said "Enjoy your bowl game, Gamecocks." You guys remember that? You guys remember when they had that flyover? The South Carolina fans put that flyover up there. I wonder, should we do that to them? Have a flyover for Columbia, South Carolina that just says "Enjoy your bowl game, Vols."
I mean, heck, if they want to be that petty, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. But I'm
Sorry, Andrew. I know you're a South Carolina man, but I had to poke the fun. I had to poke fun at South Carolina for that. And South Carolina's not the only one. Florida ain't going bowling either. So, there are a lot of teams that are.
It's kind of crazy to think this, but I saw a stat which I thought it. I think I had mentioned it before that. I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago on the show that this will be the first time in what I think since 1945 to 1947 that Florida has gone what bowlless or something like that.
Three
Like
straight
they haven't
losing
had six
seasons.
Yeah,
three
straight.
straight losing seasons.
Yeah, first time since the 50s, Florida's had 3 straight losing seasons. And Tennessee only went 1-2 against him in those 3 seasons.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
That's the only thing that pissed me off about it.
We're not gonna talk about that. That's Mickey Mouse. We'll get him next year because they're coming into Neyland, so yeah.
We better. I'm tired of losing to the freaking Swamp Lizards.
Well, here's the other thing about it. They had a lot of like seniors this year, and I felt like that's one of the reasons because like I understand we had some seniors this year, but we have nowhere near as many as them. Like we have a lot more seniors, next year. Because I think they said we have like 18 people that are eligible to come back for senior year and super seniors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Guess so, yeah. But
still. Something like that. Like I said, I feel like we'll have a lot more depth next year and stuff like that. And I feel like Florida had like a bunch of their good contributors this year were seniors, and a lot of their contributors next year are going to be freshmen. And here's the good thing about that. We play them, I'm pretty sure, still early in the year, so that kind of works out.
Oh, and Andrew makes a good point. They could have 4 straight losing seasons. You guys see Florida's schedule next year? Oh, it's a absolute monster.
They have to play Miami, UCF, Florida State, Tennessee, Oklahoma.
I think do they play Texas?
I'm pretty sure they play Texas, too. They play LSU. Yeah, they play everyone under the sun.
Really, the only break they get, I think they get Mississippi State on the schedule. Give me 1 second.
Something like that, yeah. Sanford is the easiest team they play, and that's their only gimme of the season.
Didn't they almost lose to Sanford like a few years ago, though?
Yeah, so no, it's not even a gimme, but it's definitely by far the easiest game on their schedule.
Yeah, that was the Dan Mullins last year. They won 70-52 against Sanford.
That's funny. That is funny.
So right here's the schedule. It's Miami, Sanford, UCF, Georgia, and then I think those are all home games besides Georgia. And then you have at Florida State, and then Kentucky, LSU at home.
Aye. Good luck. Good luck.
Texas A&M at home, and then at Mississippi State, at Texas, and at Tennessee.
Aye. Well, good luck with that. Is all I can say.
Yeah, Florida's not making a bowl next year. They're not.
I feel kind of bad.
No, don't you even do that. Don't.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I imagine, like, if that was a Tennessee schedule, like, god damn, I'd fucking kill myself.
Yeah. All I can say is we better beat them next year. We better.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Let's
Well,
have faith.
speaking of them, have y'all ever heard of Gators Breakdown? I'm not trying to start a beef or anything, but he has a YouTube channel. I think David Waters is his name.
Yeah, what about him?
Gators Breakdown. Did you see the video of him, like, after they lost the Florida State game, like he was crying or whatever?
I didn't know.
Like, he started, like, tearing up a little bit. He's like, "We'll get him next year." And I was like, I've been in that position before.
Yeah, this game will get you emotional. That's for sure. You'll lose a part of yourself after so many losses. All right. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about from last week? I think we've about covered everything.
Let me see.
Because now it's time to talk about this week.
Let's see. I can't really think of anything like last week. I'm trying to think of games other than the Ohio State Michigan game, which you said y'all already covered that.
Right.
Oh man, what about Nebraska, man?
Yeah,
Nebraska.
That program's cursed. They had 5 wins before November, and then they couldn't win a single game in November. Just, oh my gosh. Being a Nebraska fan has got to be just the toughest thing in the universe right now.
Here's the thing, though. I think Matt Rule will be fine.
Oh, yeah. No, he'll be fine. It's just, having those 15-something extra practices, having all that extra time, the money, they would have been so much better off with a bowl game.
Yeah,
especially since Nebraska, that all of those games were close losses, and I thought they had a bowl game secured when they had 5 wins in October, but then they go all the way through November and don't grab a single win. It's just sad.
Yeah, the thing with like looking at the Big Ten next year, I know they don't have divisions and stuff anymore. Just looking at it now, especially with who all they had, I'm pretty sure they added Oregon, USC.
Who, the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington and UCLA.
Oh, yeah, Washington and UCLA. So looking at those, really the only teams that I think that will be ready for the Big Ten will probably be Oregon right now. Now, Washington could be ready, but I feel like they might be on a decline for like a year or two.
Well, it just depends on how well Kalen DeBoer recruits.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of their success right now is mostly from, seniors and stuff like that right now. And I understand they got some younger talent, especially at receiver, but that doesn't really matter if your quarterback is not that good.
Right. All right.
Like you have.
Oh.
I was gonna say, for example, I think Joe Burrow, for example, like had he not been as good, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, even though they're great, also, they wouldn't have had that 2019 season if Joe Burrow wasn't that good.
Right, I hear you there. That. Yeah, no, definitely.
Which I mean, I'm not. I think y'all get what I'm saying.
No. Yeah. I get that. All right, then. You guys ready to talk about this upcoming week?
Yeah.
Now, this, of course, isn't your regular week. It's Oh, by the way, I need to go ahead and tell you all my final pickups record. I guess I'll do that in a post. Because I don't have that racked up, but I need to go ahead and do that. Okay, but yeah, let's talk about. So we're just gonna go through all the championship games, and you guys can give me your thoughts on who you think's gonna win. And I'll, of course, probably for all of the Power 5 ones, I will make separate videos about them and then give my thoughts on who I think's gonna win that. Okay, that being said, let's roll into this. So, first one we got here, we got New Mexico State going up against Liberty, which Liberty is 12-0, undefeated. So, yeah, I'm willing to bet that Liberty wins this one, but New Mexico State did just knock off Auburn, so I don't know. What do y'all think?
I'm a New Mexico State. What's crazy is that at the beginning of the year, New Mexico State lost to UMass. How did
Oh.
that happen?
Yeah, yeah,
How,
yeah.
how did
That's
that
bad.
happen?
That's bad.
But but I will.
Jer-
Oh yeah, go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say Jerry Kill. I've always kind of liked him. He kind of got fucked up in Minnesota because he ended up having to take a leave of absence because I think he ended up having some type of seizure or something like that, and so
jeez.
he had to step down at Minnesota pretty early. And then his defensive coordinator took over and did kind of okay there for a little bit, and then it kind of fell apart. But I always felt like Jerry Kill was a good head coach because he had Minnesota getting in the right direction, and then he just had that health scare and had to take a leave of absence.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's doing pretty good at what I think this is his. Let me check. I'm pretty sure he's pretty early in his tenure at New Mexico State. Give me 1 second.
And I need a second because I just realized for the background of the false start of the my display background is switched to the wrong monitor. Oopsies. There
dang.
we go.
Yeah, he's only been at New Mexico State since 2022. So
Oh, really?
But yeah,
yeah, he got them a winning record his first year. Went 7-6, and they're 10-3 right now.
Nice. Well, who do you think's
Yeah.
gonna win though against New Mexico State? and
I
Liberty?
mean, I'm just, I was just making a point that
No. That's fair.
I wouldn't be,
That's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. I mean, I was just giving a background on New Mexico State because I've always liked
Right.
their coach and stuff. Uh, I would probably go with Liberty right now, just because I think they definitely got the way more talent. But I would say don't sleep on New Mexico State in the coming years. Heck, maybe make a New Year's Six bowl or something if Jerry Kill stays there.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Give me the Liberty Flames and Jamie Chadwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Liberty too. And what's crazy is that they're 12-0 and they're just now in the rankings. Ain't that something? Yeah, intercepted.
Well, it has to do with their strength of schedule, which is
Right. Yeah.
poor.
No, I agree.
If Liberty beats New Mexico State, do you think they should represent the Group of Five in the New Year's Six?
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. I guess you would probably wouldn't be able to because they have 3 losses, and I guess they're 11-3. But then again, you could also make the chance that they beat an undefeated team. So
Yeah, but I don't think they get into a New Year's Six, especially if Tulane wins. But
yeah.
by the way, let this one sink in. If Auburn had beaten Alabama, New Mexico State by transitive property would be better than Alabama. Just thought you let that one sink in. All right, Pac-12 championship. Number 6 Oregon, number 4 Washington. Huge game right here. Washington, of course, 12-0. Oregon, 11-1. Their only loss came to undefeated Washington. Does Oregon get revenge, or does Washington prevail and advance to 13-0?
I'm gonna say this. I think that Oregon wins. I think they're gonna be motivated. I think that especially since it's at a neutral site, I think that also played a part in it. That Washington had the home field advantage. I feel like if that was played in Eugene, Oregon would have won.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Oregon. Not
What's going on, Raj?
But I just don't see it right now. Maybe Washington can continue their magic. Like I said, I always kind of root for them because of Michael Penix and stuff like that. I've said it before, but I just think their luck's more than likely has ran out at this point.
Yeah, but yeah, personally to me, I think this is like I said at the beginning of the show, I think this is a college football playoff quarterfinal game because I think the winner of this game will move on to the college football playoff between Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Julio said, of course, Oregon and Washington played each other, and it was at Washington, and Washington barely won. And plus, Oregon, as of late, I feel like it's been looking like a better team than Washington. And plus, personally to me, I think Oregon is the best one-loss team in the country right now. And plus, Oregon, they look really good right now. I think especially since it's on a neutral site, I think Oregon wins this game, and Oregon seals their playoff spot.
Yeah. I would have. Oh, by the way, keep in mind, I said number 6, Oregon. Oregon probably going to move up tomorrow because this is based on the college football playoff rankings, which have yet to be updated. So,
yeah, they'll move up to 5
as they should, because I do agree with you. I think they're the best one-loss team, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Ducks. I'm gonna say the Ducks win too. Gonna be a really close game, I think. I'm looking at just the overall productivity for both teams, and I think Oregon has improved ever since the first matchup against Washington. And even though I do like Michael Penix, and I think this will be a really great matchup quarterback-wise, they just kind of been skidding by throughout these past few games. They just look unmotivated. I think they'll be motivated to play in this one, but I'm going to stick with the Ducks. And Vegas seems to think so, too. 9.5-point favorites. All right. How about this? Oklahoma State. I could have sworn it was going to be Oklahoma-Texas rematch, but I guess I was wrong on that one. What a comeback by the Cowboys, though. They lose to South Alabama early in the season, and now they have come all the way back, and here they are as playing in the Big 12 championship. So Oklahoma State and Texas. If Texas wins this game, they're in a pretty good spot to make the playoffs. So, what are y'all's expectations in this one? Do y'all think Texas comes out on top?
I think Texas will probably come out top. I think it'll be close because Oklahoma State and Texas always play each other close, at least for the past, 10 years or so now. About ever since Mike Gundy's been there, it's kind of been close.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll be close, but I feel like Texas will pull it out in the end.
Right.
Yeah. Just letting you know, if Texas wins this game, their playoff spot is not guaranteed. They definitely do need a little bit of help to make the playoffs, even if they beat Oklahoma State. But
how so?
Because they're behind Florida State, Washington, Georgia, and then Michigan. If all those 4 teams win, even if Texas wins, they're still not getting in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Especially, because if you have Georgia undefeated, Florida State undefeated, there's your 2 teams. Because I don't think they're going to keep out Florida State even without their quarterback Jordan Travis. I feel like you still have to put him in there.
Yeah, Florida State's undefeated. They're in no matter what.
Yeah, and then 3? Who's 3 right now?
Washington. Right now 3 was Michigan, but Michigan will move up to 2, and then Washington. State. Yeah, and then Washington will move up to 3.
Yeah, okay, so Michigan, I think they more than likely win. So that's 3?
Yeah.
And then 4 is Washington, right?
Yeah, this kind of ties into what Andrew the textbook just asked. He asked, is it possible for Washington to lose and still get in? I don't think so.
No.
If Washington loses, they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. If Washington loses, I think you have to put Oregon there.
Right.
I really think you have to put Oregon there.
Right, yeah, they avenged their only loss.
Yeah. Especially, let's say if Oregon goes out there and beats them by, 10 plus points, or just absolutely drags them, then I feel like you have to put them in there. Like, I don't understand any other team you could put there because they avenged their only loss, which was, it was a 3-point loss away on a true road game, and they avenged it, especially, like I said, if they avenge it by 10 plus points or even barely do it, I feel like you have to put them in there.
Yeah, don't worry, Julio. If Oregon beats Washington, they're in. Yeah. If Oregon beats Washington, they're in.
I don't think we're going to have to worry about any of this at all. You know why? Because I think that one of these is going to be an upset, and I'm picking the Big 12 championship to be that upset. I think an Oklahoma State's about to beat Texas. Whenever it comes to big upsets, usually the Big 12 is one that you can rely on. It's happened every single year with the Big 12. The underdog is always the one that wins it for whatever reason. So I'm going to stick with my pick and say that Oklahoma State upsets Texas in the Big 12 championship.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask this. So, if Georgia loses, do they still get in?
They can, but it's gonna be
It,
tough.
it won't be in their favor, is what I'll say.
Yeah, but yeah, I will say for my pick, I'm a ride with Texas because Texas they're getting healthy and they're getting healthy at the right time, and I
That's
think they're
true.
gonna come out and beat Oklahoma State.
Yeah. All right. Let's just cover these real quick. Miami of Ohio versus Toledo. Who do y'all think's winning that one?
Give me the
Uh,
Rockets.
okay, so what? It's I think Miami, Ohio is 10-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Toledo's got one loss.
Yep.
What's the spread on it? I can't really
Seven
see.
and a half.
All right, 7.5 Toledo.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take Toledo.
All right. Yeah. Give me the Rockets too. All right. Boise State and UNLV. Boise State 2-point favorite. They're 7-5, and UNLV is 9-3. How about UNLV and turn around for them? They're sitting there Mountain West Championship. Do you think they win that one?
Yeah, I think UNLV wins.
I think I'm also gonna rock with UNLV.
All right. UNLV across the board then. We're going to stick with. All right. SEC Championship. Number 1, Georgia against what's probably going to be number 7 or number 8, whichever one it may be, Alabama. Georgia, Alabama. The last time we saw this matchup was in the Natty back in 2021. Great game. Georgia came out on top in that one. And also, the last time Georgia lost a game, it was in the SEC Championship against Alabama. A little history for y'all. But, yeah, going to be a great game, I think. Of course, Bama escaped the clutches of depression after they beat Auburn. And they're looking to kind of keep that momentum moving. Georgia's favored by 6 in this matchup. So, I don't know. A lot of uncertainty in this one for sure, whether or not Alabama can beat Georgia or if Georgia can keep their reign of dominance going. What do y'all think's going to happen in this one?
What's crazy is that this spread was literally 5 this morning.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
literally
boy, that
5.
changed real quick, huh?
Yeah, like literally.
I think I just have to go with Georgia until someone beats them.
Yeah, as much as I kind of want Bama to win this game just so the entire SEC could possibly get left out of the playoffs. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to stick with Georgia.
Yeah, I think something about Georgia just tells me that the Dogs are going to roll in this one because, well, I just don't see a scenario where Alabama just gets by that Georgia. I mean, of course, Nick Saban is going to have some plays packed up to where, you know, they're going to do some stuff. Bama's going to score some plays on Georgia. I just don't expect for them to just run all over Georgia's defense. So, yep, give me the Bulldogs to win that one. What's up, Traveling Fools? Glad you can make it to the stream. All right, SMU, SMU to be more exact, and Tulane in the AAC. Who do y'all have winning that one?
I got Tulane. Especially, I think they said SMU's quarterback is out for the rest of the season. Preston.
Yeah, that's a tough loss.
Oh,
it just seems to me that Tulane is the stronger team.
Yeah, give me the green wave.
All right. Next up, Appalachian State and Troy. Troy is 10-2. Appalachian State's 8-4. Troy's coming in as a 6.5-point favorite in the Sun Belt Championship. Who do y'all think's winning?
It should be James Madison in there.
Well, they lost. The only reason they're not in there is because they lost to Appalachian State, I think. So.
I think so.
And plus, I don't think they were eligible anyway. They're still going bowling, though. So congratulations to them. Whee! Even though they had to have South Carolina lose. But I do think Troy will win this. I think their coach is John Summerall, I think he's a former assistant at Kentucky, I think.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know that. You have to figure that one out on your own.
I mean, I know. I think he's a former assistant at Kentucky, if I remember correctly. Because I think people were just saying Kentucky fans were wanting him to be the next head coach of Kentucky. You know, after the Mark Stoops thing that lasted all of 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, that didn't take long. All right, so
yeah, I'll take Troy on that.
I could be. Didn't Troy win the Sun Belt last year?
did they?
Yeah, I think so. I think they went 12-2 last year also.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah, I think
they'll run it
I'm
back.
gonna rock with. Yeah, I'll rock with Troy.
All right, they'll say
Uh,
they run it back.
Also, another reason I want Troy to win is because Bray Wyatt. I don't know if y'all know any of y'all watch WWE, but he played football at Troy and he passed away this year. And also I think it would be funny if Alabama has less wins than Troy again.
Alrighty then.
That would be hilarious.
Well, I guess we'll all stick with Troy here. Say the Trojans get the job done. All right, next up, Big Ten Championship. Number 3, well, yeah, what's probably going to be number 2 or number 1 Michigan tomorrow, traveling out to play Iowa in the Big Ten Championship. So, not really much drama with this one. I guess we're all in agreement that Michigan's going to beat the brakes off of Iowa.
Yeah. All Michigan has to do is score 1 touchdown. That's all they got to do.
They score a touchdown as GGs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan rolls in this one easily. That's literally the one I'm most confident in.
Not much drama with that one. And then finally, ACC Championship, Louisville and Florida State. So Louisville lost to Kentucky last week, putting them basically out of contention for a New Year's 6 unless they win. And as for Florida State, of course, if they win this game, they're headed into the college football playoffs. No matter how bad their schedule is, if they win this game, they'll be undefeated. They'll be on their way to the college football playoffs. What do y'all think is going to happen here? Is Florida State going to prevail, or is Louisville going to pull off the big upset?
It wouldn't really be a big upset considering Florida State's only favored by 2.5.
Oh, really? What? Expect for that to rise.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only reason it's that low is because of course, the Jordan Travis injury.
Huh.
Yeah. I know, Squid, what you said earlier about there's like an upset every single year in conference championship week. I agree with you. I think I'm gonna take this as my upset.
Ooh.
I think Louisville will bounce back from their loss to Kentucky, and I think they'll. Well, I wouldn't really say this is an upset, but I guess it kind of is considering Florida State's favored. But yeah, I'm gonna rock with Louisville in this one, and Louisville knocks Florida State out of the playoffs.
All right, I like the take, and yeah, that would effectively knock Florida State out of the playoffs. Julio, what's your take?
I still think Florida State will probably win it. I think I'll probably take them right now. But I also wouldn't put past Louisville winning it. I could definitely see them winning it, mostly because I think they still got their quarterback.
Yeah.
But
all right.
But like Lucas said, I just don't think it'd be much of an upset. Like if you would, if I had to pick an upset on, what I think is most likely, like the most likely upset, it would probably be, Louisville over Florida State, but that's not much of an upset.
Right. So I guess we're both going to be sticking with the Seminoles here then?
Yeah.
Because that's who I'm sticking with. I'm going to take the Seminoles here. Although I do think it's going to be a very close game. I expect for it to come down to the very end. I'm looking forward to seeing how the end of this game plays out. And that is our picks. Of course, I will make videos for all of these, at least the Power 5 Conference Championships. I'll make videos for them later on this week and talk about them since I don't have to do any pick'ems or Tennessee previews. And that's kind of sad. No Tennessee previews this week. That pretty much wraps up the show, honestly. So, great audience tonight. If there's anything you guys would like to ask me before we head on out of here, go ahead and do that. And make sure if you haven't already, give us a like and sub to Squidtard Sports if you haven't already. If you want to go ahead and check out Mr. Julio Rodriguez and Lucas Sharp, both of their links for their Twitter are in the description below. So check that out if you want to. All right, let me transition back over to the main screen. Lucas, what in the world are you watching? I keep hearing that.
I don't think that's me. I think that's Julio.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah, it's probably me. I think I got USA on the background
Oh,
watching
okay.
WWE. So
I'm watching WWE as well. But I have the volume turned all the way down.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know if y'all could hear it or not because I have my headphones in, so it must be pretty loud.
See,
But I only got it on like 15%. So
wow, this is bold. SEC football's taking Iowa with the upset. uh, uh,
Oh, man.
Are they gonna hold Michigan to 0 points?
you know the crazy thing, I think they said that this is the first time that a teams went to the conference championship averaging like less than 250 yards offense and like God, I think they said it was like since the 1950s or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
It was something ridiculous.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Well, ain't
Like
that
so,
something?
I've said this before that if Kirk Ferentz would have been born for like 1940s football, he'd be one of the best head coaches of all time.
Yeah, he'd be like he'd pretty much be like Johnny Heisman was for Georgia Tech, just a national treasure that they look back on 100 years from now.
And you know what's crazy? If Iowa would have beaten Minnesota, in a way they'd be fighting for a playoff
Oh
spot.
no,
this
that's
week.
crazy. They would be 11-1.
Yeah, imagine Iowa in the playoffs.
They almost made it back in 2015, but then they lost to Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They were undefeated. That was like the first time they had won 12-0, I think, ever.
Yeah.
And then they lost. Funny enough, if I remember correctly, I think Le'Veon Bell was the one, or no, it wasn't Le'Veon Bell. It was L.J. Scott. I get them mixed up because it was right after Le'Veon Bell left.
Whew.
No, it was L.J. Scott that scored it.
All right. Well, fellas, I think this is where we wrap it up for tonight. I feel like a doo-doo. I feel kind of stinky. Hopefully, I'll feel a whole lot better next week when, of course, by that point, we'll know. Because Selection Sunday, yeah, they select all the playoff teams the Sunday right after the championship games, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, yeah. Monday next week, we'll know exactly who's in the college football playoffs, and then we'll get to talk about it.
How would you rank all the 8 teams left who still have a chance?
So the 8 teams. So that would be Georgia, Bama, Washington, Oregon, Texas, Florida State, Michigan, and who's the 8th?
Ohio State. Even though I don't think they'll make it, but they technically still have a chance because they only have 1 loss.
So are we ranking them based on who are the 4 best, like from best to worst out of that group, or
yeah? If I had to rank them from 8 to 1, it'd be 8 Ohio State, 7 Alabama, 6 Texas, 5 Oregon, 4 Florida State, 3 Washington, 2 Michigan, and then 1 Georgia.
I think that'd be my rankings too.
Mine would. I'd have to check my top 25, but let me do that real quick, actually, because I know I have that written down somewhere. Yeah, so mine, according to my top 25, would be from 1 to 8: Michigan, Georgia, Washington, Florida State, Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama. That's.
Personally, I think Alabama and Ohio State should be flipped.
I heard that already, but I'm of the belief that Ohio State, at least at this point in time, is still better than Alabama. Now, if Bama beats Georgia, of course, I'm proven wrong, and everything I said gets thrown out the window. But that's just the way it is. Man, I'm at a point in time where Missouri is the highest ranked team outside of the top 8 teams. Yeesh. Look at that.
Hey, I mean, that's what this is a weird year because think about it. The last time they were ranked that high would have been 2007.
Yep. Something like that. I don't know.
That was also the year they lost. Their only 2 losses were to Oklahoma 2 times.
Yep. Yeah. Eli Drakewitz. Good for them. Good for them. All right, fellas. Well, I think this is where we're gonna wrap things up for tonight. Appreciate all of you guys sticking in here for tonight's show. Hopefully tomorrow's show or next week's show will be a little bit longer. Think we might Of course, now that the football season's coming to a close, we'll probably have a lot less time to talk about things like this. So maybe we'll do a call-in show segment. We'll bring in some special guests on, talk about some of the things outside of college football. We'll get to talk about basketball some more. Baseball season's rolling up. We'll get plenty of time to talk about other things other than this, and then of course we'll have a segment where we bring on people for call-in shows or whatever the case may be. Looking forward to the future of the show, though. And, of course, as always, shout out to my two co-hosts, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Julio Rodriguez. Shout out to both of you guys for being on the show tonight. All right, well, I'm going to go attempt to recover from that. So until next time, thank you guys again for watching. As always, power to Tardaria. And more importantly, on this show specifically, go Vols. And 8-4 is not too bad of a season. Don't you guys agree?
I guess that's what A&M fans would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, I know, right? I guess we can cosplay as A&M fans for the time being. There you go.
Yeah. What I think's crazy about that was whenever I heard they were hiring Mark Stoops, I thought, oh my God, they're gonna do the meme. They're gonna hire the 8-4 coach.
Yeah, right. That continue the meme. Yeah, you know. All right. Well, you guys have any finalizing words for the crew, for the peoples?
Nope. I guess other than go Vols, that's about it.
I guess go Vols and go Meteor. Hopefully a meteor hits Atlanta.
Right. Yeah, Meteor for the win. And also, if you're thinking about hitting the transfer portal and your name is not someone from Tennessee, please consider joining the Big Orange, unless you're a quarterback. We don't need another excuse to stop Nico from starting.
Okay. One last thing before we go, because you just said that.
Yep.
I forgot. I finally got back to do one of the spaces, and one of the people that regularly comes in there, Zero, that's his name on Twitter, Zero, is that he was went under the comments of that UConn tight end. I think y'all remember the good UConn tight end from the UConn Tennessee game this year,
right?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he commented under his post. He said, you should, enter the transfer portal and go to a real school like Tennessee or something like that.
Jeez.
And just being trolling a little bit or whatever. And apparently the dude's, I think it was his dad, liked the tweet.
Oh man, what the hell?
But yeah, that UConn tight end, he was literally the only one who was making plays against us.
No, he's goated. He would have been a great addition. But we got a good tight end core as it is, so I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, McCastles is leaving next year, and then Warren, which a lot of ours is young. But the only reason I say we should get one is because Ethan Davis, as good as he is, he's kind of injury prone.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Okay, well. Now we got to wrap up the show. It's past 9 o'clock, so let's go ahead and blah. All right, you guys, we're getting out of here. Thank you guys again for watching. As always, power to Tardaria. More importantly, go Vols. And whoever we play at our bowl game, you do not want to be there because we're going to put the whooping on you. All right, BPD.